pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Open the public hearing first. I'm going to open the public hearing on the withdrawal of funds from the Special Education Expendable Trust Fund at 4:31. Should I open both of them? There's two, right?
Maybe
They
open
go
them up
together?
one at a time.
Okay.
So the first public hearing is for the consideration of withdrawal from funds from the Special Education Expendable Trust. That's due to our expenditures in special education, so we'd be withdrawing funds to cover those expenditures. Later on in the agenda, we will be asking for the motion from the board, and it's up to $200,000.
So now
So if there's anyone that would like to comment, if not, then
I can just
Close that
close the
one and go
meeting,
there.
or hearing rather.
Any comments from anyone?
I have a,
Yeah, come on up.
I just had a question.
Just state your name.
Oh, my name is Kim Riccardi Tedderton. I'm the grandparent of a student in the middle school. I'm trying to understand, can someone explain exactly what the Special Education Expendable Trust Fund is? And what does it do for the special needs kids?
Okay, I can certainly answer that.
Okay.
So we established this trust to set aside funds, so we've contributed money to this fund via warrant article, so you may have seen on previous ballots, there's been a warrant article to contribute a certain amount of money, $25,000, $50,000 into this fund.
Mm-hmm.
And that fund is maintained for to safeguard the district against unanticipated costs, any special education costs that we may not have budgeted for, because costs can change dramatically from
Right.
year to year. So when we have a year such as this year, when we have gone over budget, and we don't have available funds elsewhere in the budget to cover those costs, then we can utilize that trust to cover those costs. So it's not for a specific purpose other than to cover the
Yeah.
deficit.
I was
the
just
savings
gonna
account
ask,
for emergencies.
Was it,
essentially.
is it designated to go to a specific, cost that may be,
It's essentially a savings.
behind in the school this year, or?
It can only be used for special education purpose, so if we couldn't withdraw funds to, fund a boiler or
Right,
something
yeah.
separate, so that's really the only requirement.
How many special needs kids are there in the middle school, do you know offhand?
In just the middle school?
Yeah.
There's about 120 total
Right, so
in just the middle school. I think
Probably
it's less than
50.
half,
probably 50.
probably 50 is a good estimate.
May I ask you to clarify your address for me, please?
I live in Somerville, Massachusetts. I'm the grandparent of a child that attends. I'm here with her mother, who lives here in Seabrook.
So just for future, public comment is open for residents to speak, so if you have questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to us, but
Okay.
the board would have to grant you authority to speak otherwise.
Well, maybe think about that. I might have more questions. Thank you.
Anyone else? Board members, any questions, comments? Okay, I'll close the public hearing at 4:35 for that one. And then open the public hearing for the unanticipated revenue funds for health insurance costs at 4:35.
So the purpose of this public hearing is to allow public input on the board's consideration to expend unanticipated revenue. So this is really just a procedural vote. Any revenue that we did not expect, that we did not estimate to receive, we need to accept formally via vote in order to apply that to the balance. So for example, if there were donations that we were unaware of, typically donations are unanticipated, or if we received some type of grant, then that would be unanticipated because we didn't submit that to the Department of Revenue. So yeah, if anyone has public comment, they can certainly speak, and then you're just closed. We will be asking the board later in the meeting to approve up to $150,000. And when I say up to, in both instances, we won't know that exact number until after the books close. In both cases, we are being very conservative. We expect to be below both those numbers.
Any comments, questions? Okay, I'll close that public hearing at 4:37. And I'm gonna open public comment now for any agenda items at 4:37. So if anybody has any questions, comments about the agenda, we'll keep that open for an hour, right?
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Wow, that's an hour. And we'll move on to the student report.
Hello and welcome back to the student board meeting. We're so glad to be back with you all again, and man, do we have a lot to share. Let's hit it off strong with our 5th graders.
Our 5th graders have recently gone to the Boston Tea Party Museum, learning the important role it played in the American Revolution, and ate outside the museum looking at the city and ocean. But they are also starting the new SAS testing real soon. With our 6th graders, they went to Strawberry Bank in Portsmouth to learn about early colonial life, and they made medicine from herbs and learned about 18th century ships and how they found out just by a different ship's flag if they are friend or foe.
But our 7th graders have recently finished their book in Animal Farm and have gone off to see the Animal Farm movie in theater. And with 8th grade, we went on a big, amazing field trip to UNH that we will continue with later. And we have the important New Hampshire SAS testing to finish up tomorrow and Thursday. So please have your students on time. But a highlight after testing is our DC trip next week, kayaking, and the Fisher Cats game, and so many more things to look forward to for our last time as SMS students.
From what we have gathered, our basketball team has been doing really good so far. Keep up the great work. And
Our softball has been off to an amazing start with 5 wins and 1 loss so far this season, so it's been going great. And sadly, the softball game today was canceled. And you can check the SMS website for any further updates or reach out to their coach, Mr. Kodan.
our chess club members are having a blast with friendly competition and the goal of checkmate.
And our Y2Y members have officially finished their PSA short film titled Going Viral. It premieres at Portsmouth Music Hall June 8th at 6 p.m. So don't miss out. Tickets can be bought online.
On Thursday, our club helped put together an art show, and our very own Whiplash band is playing, so don't miss out. And our student government put together a raffle not too long ago, and today 10 students got to go to McDonald's in a limo for lunch. And
Yes.
our student government
Yes.
Our student government is starting a mini dance instead of a Ram rally this month.
Our 8th graders' DC trip is close to its arrival by simply 5 days, not counting days. Today, at 5:30 to 6 p.m., we will be having having information about packing lists, itinerary, and any more details about the trip, as well as answering any questions that you and your family might have. As well, coming up, we have many different field trips like kayaking, deep sea fishing, and a whole bunch more. And for the upcoming Fisher Cats game field trip, make sure both the permission slip and $20 cash are in for the best baseball game this year.
Our 8th grade team was at UNH on Thursday. For me, it looked surreal. It was like a film from a Hollywood movie, but it was picture perfect. And it looked like I had entered a place on the other side of the country. We were the first middle school group to tour the university campus. and it made it feel even more special. Thanks to our lovely Miss DeConstant for putting it together, she made the experience possible. But Paloma would like to share another surreal reality for us 8th graders and our 8th grade team. And heads up to parents whose kids are in Algebra 1 for 8th grade, final exams are coming up, so make sure they're prepared.
All the memories made throughout Seabrook Middle School and elementary journey will never be forgotten. We wish everyone who's coming into or out of Seabrook Middle School to have a great time and have great experiences. And to our incoming 5th grade students, we greet you all with open arms, and we are excited for all of you and for all the stuff you guys have stuff to look forward to. And to our outgoing 8th graders, be excited for all the new beginnings. There's so much more that we can look forward to, and this is our next big step. This was the student report of 2025 to 2026.
I'm your host, Nevaeh.
And I'm your co-host, Paloma, as this was a student report. Goodbye, and have an amazing night and summer.
Wow.
Savannah and Paloma, tonight's their last night doing the report, so
Thank
give
you.
yourself a
Great.
They set the bar high for the next semester.
Thank you.
I'm gonna do the approval of the special meeting minutes from April 7th.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from April 7th, 2026 special meeting.
And I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous, thank you. And approval of the meeting minutes from April 14th for our regular meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from April 14th, 2026 regular meeting.
And I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank
you. Sorry.
That happens.
Next on to the reports.
Right. Happy to start. I do want to just remind folks that the public comment is open, so I don't know if you're here for public comment, but if you are. So, I had to open my report because I've closed it. So Teacher Appreciation Week is being celebrated this week here in Seabrook. Many thanks to our Teachers Association for helping out, and just been great treats and lots of celebrations here. Very festive. I also want to thank our staff for their good work. I know they don't get the credit they deserve for the hours that they put in and the care that they provide to students, so it's nice at least once a year to give them that shout out. And we also appreciate the support of our parents, parent associations, and other community partners for helping to recognize them. As you know, we held our legislative roundtable prior to April vacation, so I know the School Board Association put out an update end of last week or beginning. I've lost track. It's already Tuesday. It's only Tuesday, but I feel like the last update was maybe last Friday. So continue to monitor those bills as they move through, and certainly reach out to your legislators to voice your opinion on those remaining bills. Our last student leadership team meeting, again, a sad moment, like losing your student team, is scheduled for next Thursday, and our parent advisory council is meeting later tonight. So we'll be debriefing the year and talking about suggestions for improving and building on the work of those teams for the future. As you know, we are in the midst of assessment. You just heard that from Paloma and Nevaeh. Access testing results should be coming available to us very soon. Those are for our students who are English language learners or emerging bilingual students. SAT results were made available to juniors at the high school in early May, and our SAS assessment is underway, and those results will be provided to parents closer to the end of the school year once testing is completed. As you also heard, there are lots of celebrations and end-of-year events occurring, so monitor your school's calendar and principal newsletters for all of those upcoming exciting events, including graduations for some students in 8th grade. And then we had our last joint board meeting on the 27th, or we will have it on the 27th. We had the operations committee set the agenda last evening, so we look forward to that. And our retreat was held last week, May 6th, and that provided board members just a nice opportunity to talk about values and mission, as well as communication and collaboration. So That's it. I will pass the mic. Shay, did you wanna?
Sure. I'll be short and sweet this afternoon. We're still working on the AI committee. That's in my board report, and we have representation from across the district, and we spent a day visiting another school. We have some great ideas. We're gathering input from 2 student leaders who are going to be joining us in our work, and we'll have some guidelines for safe and effective use of AI for staff, students, and families for the fall. Our overall motto is brain first, tools second, just trying to center the learning, the critical thinking and learning piece without allowing AI to take over, but recognizing that it's out in the community. We have come to the end of teacher recertification. All of our teachers whose certifications were up this spring have currently renewed. They have until June 30th to get their new copies of their certs to us at the SAU office, but it was a pretty smooth process this year. Let's see. The Bridging the Gap grant, we will have an update for you next month. We are still putting together that action plan, working with the folks from the New Hampshire Department of Ed. It's been a very collaborative process with administration and teachers and special educators all coming together to work to support literacy for all of our students in the building. We just spent, Colleen West is taking a big role in this, but we just spent a full day on Friday, all of us meeting with the other leadership teams, some who are 1 or 2 years ahead of us in this grant cycle, this grant process, and literacy planning process, and it was such a fabulous day. We have some great ideas, some real positive energy on the leadership team, and we'll be looking forward to roll that out to current staff and to all of you to let you know where we are with that. And so that's all I have. State testing is up and away in all of our districts. Lauren will be sharing more about that, and have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who's next?
Dr. Toomey.
My report this month is in the form of the annual LEA determinations. So there's a slide deck in the board docs for you to look at. No big surprises. For us this year, keep in mind that when the Department of Education provides the determinations annually each April, it is from data that is gathered from the year prior. So the data that they use to make these determinations in April of 2026 was from the data from 24-25. So just keep that in mind when you're looking through. And so for Seabrook, again, as I said, we had some information going into this that looking at our preschool outcomes and environments was going to keep us in the needs assistant category for results. And then in the assessment category, we had an inkling that gaps between those students with disabilities and those students without disabilities were wider than what was anticipated, as well as proficiency rates. And so that actually put us in the needs intervention category. So those two together kept us overall in needs assistance where the district has been for the last 4 years. So we will continue to work with the Department of Education on technical assistance and on the support that they provide to districts that continue to have these issues, and we will continue to look at our areas and our indicators in both the results category and the assessment category. I'm happy to answer any specific questions that you might have related to the determinations.
Any questions? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
It's kind of weird that I get to go.
Why?
Because
Usually Jim
Jim,
goes first.
who's now the father of Joseph Robert Dahl,
Oh, I forgot about that.
is in love at home with his son. So
Yay!
Yay, you're good.
Congratulations.
So I'm sure you saw the phenomenal drawing on the cover, so we encourage all the parents to come and see the art show. Ms. Souza has put a lot of work into it. I'd like to thank her, and then of course you have to hear Whiplash. That is a treat in and of itself. I do want to echo everything that everyone else has said, staff appreciation. Consider myself really fortunate to be working with, from, the custodial crew to the EAs to facilities and of course teachers and everybody on the team here. I think that they work incredibly hard on behalf of our children. And I think we're all want the same things for our students, that they're safe, they're learning, and we're working on it every day to be better at what we do for our kids. So thank you. PTO, wow, a lot of great treats. Couldn't thank them enough. I have a little PSA here. On a day where we didn't have something, PTO is like filled almost every day. The admin assistant reached out to Marion Flowers and she donated, so we did the teachers and the staff could go in, pick a vase, make a little flower arrangement. I always feel like flowers always make everybody happy. So we'd like to thank them, and then we're getting some ice cream from Susie's Sweets, so we're all gonna need to go on a diet next week due to all the treats that we've had, so our community's generosity is really appreciated. So thank you to everyone that made that happen as well. 8th grade parents, you'll be getting a letter soon outlining every activity that the girls told you that's happening. I don't know how the 8th grade team keeps track of everything. There's so much going on right now, between packing and kayaking and staycation and all the other fun things. So please take a look at that letter. As we mentioned, SAS testing, I just want to remind SAS is one bullet point of data that we use in looking at our students. And there are multiple data points that we as a team look at when we're deciding, what's the best course of action for our students, whether it be the schedule, classes, intervention. There's lots of factors that play into that, so we are hopeful and people work really hard to make that happen. Thank you to the Wellness Committee. We had a great wellness walk to school. We always appreciate getting outside, getting some fresh air. I don't think we have enough time to do that during the day, so we appreciate that. And then, of course, today was the limo ride. Everybody was happy. Student Council, Ms. Bombardier, the raffle, they killed the raffle. We had great prizes, movie tickets, limo ride. One of the students, I don't have a picture yet because I was in a meeting, wore a tuxedo to school, so she was all ready for that ride. I wasn't sure if he was the driver or and I know the teachers that were chosen to go on the ride were pretty happy about it. I'd be curious to see what they got for the amount of money because I don't think McDonald's is too cheap anymore, but we have to celebrate doing some fun things with students besides all the other things that we do. So that's it for me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we don't have an elementary principal's report this week because as we just heard from Principal Lennon, Principal Dow is out. I do want to thank Assistant Principal Colleen West for stepping up to fill in during his absence. She's knocking it out of the park, although she is running herself ragged, or keeping her very busy. But again, I think they would express the same appreciation to the PTO for the support with teacher appreciation. It's been a fantastic week, and the elementary school is a busy place, rushing into the end of the year.
Very, very busy, yeah. All good things though, all good things.
Yeah.
And the baby chickens now.
Yes.
Chickens? Oh, wow.
First hatched.
Okay. Curriculum report? Yes.
Okay, evening everyone. Just like to echo the same thing over to Colleen West, who's just stepping in beautifully and filling so many roles and wearing so many hats in a day. I can't keep up. So either can you probably sometimes. Really, really good job. Few things in the report. I already said thank you to Nevaeh and Paloma, but another huge thank you to them. They're home listening.
A few things, the PSATs, we finished up in the 8th grade for the first time. Those results will be coming home to families. So we just have to catch up with the results and get those home to our 8th grade families before the end of the year. And another update for the middle school, we've had our Brown Center from UNH here all year long, kind of with an embedded professional development, working on experiential education and teaching the teachers how to create activities and to have students have that sense of belonging and kind of hands-on kind of community building activities that they're using during their advisory time. So Brown Center is kind of embedding into each grade level and supporting teams on all different levels. That's been all year long, so we're really grateful for the UNH partnership at the Brown Center this year. Just put in a learning snapshot from our 2nd grade team. They had sat with the administrative team and really wanted to kind of speak up and say some of the things they've been doing this year with our structured literacy initiative and really kind of pulling together lots of pieces of the puzzle and implementing those in our 2nd grade with our 2nd grade students. They're in their 2nd year of using Wit and Wisdom and really loving how that's creating a sense of students are setting their own goals, they're integrating their writing, they're noticing a difference in the quality of the writing for students, and then also in the boost time, which we call Tier 2 or boost, which is the afternoon time, those 2nd grade teachers are also pulling in other resources, like we call one of the resources UFly, which is like an intervention resource, along with something called Geodes, which is complementary to our Wit and Wisdom program. So they're really kind of tailoring their boost time to each individual student's needs for literacy, using the data that they're kind of creating from different screeners that the teachers are using in the elementary school as we build the structured literacy program. So they wanted me to feature that tonight because they're so proud of the work, and so are we. All grade levels are doing that in the elementary school. And you heard from kindergarten a couple of months back maybe about it as well. So teachers are putting in a lot of effort and time to learn new things and learn how to personalize the literacy for students and meet those goals. So they've noticed a bump in their NEWA scores from fall to winter in 2nd grade. I believe it was 42% increase in achievement from fall to winter in reading for the 2nd grade students. So again, a lot of assessments are happening this spring, and hopefully we'll be able to continue to see an increase in achievement across all the grade levels as we're implementing so many different positive components of structured literacy. So I also mentioned here that we have Title I tutoring happening this summer. I know we're not going to have a Title I summer school, but we were able to adjust some funds and find room for tutoring for students. In this tutoring we'll reach out to families. It'll be on a kind of invitation basis based on the data that we see for students and which students we're really going to target for reading and math in either elementary or middle. So parents be on the lookout for letters from the school or calls from interventionists kind of reaching out and setting up a summer schedule for tutoring. There wouldn't be any transportation for this, unfortunately, but we still will be able to offer the tutoring here at the school. And more details about that coming. The dates are here in July 6th to August 6th. And so each family will set up an individual schedule where they can use that tutoring this summer. As the girls mentioned earlier, we went to UNH for the first time this year. This is part of our school improvement plan, lining up with a portrait of a learner, really building those future learning pathways for our students. 8th graders walked the campus, and as Nevaeh said, it looked like a Hollywood movie set, and it did. It really shined. I mean, there was just seniors in their caps and gowns walking the campus, and our 8th grade students cheering them on as they walked by. It was one of the moments I remember. We had some of the scientists from our Lunch with the Scientists series meet us at the one of the buildings, which was the Oceanic Engineering Building. all the students got a tour through there, they were able to see kind of hands-on what science looked like at UNH. We went into all kinds of other buildings, just did a general tour. We were greeted by the admissions team. They gave an overall kind of view of the school, and I think it really was a great opportunity for students to just start thinking about their futures, right? Doesn't mean that that's necessarily where they're gonna go, but to head into high school future-minded, and lots of great questions from kids. The admissions team couldn't say more positive things about our students, and so kudos to all the 8th grade team and adjusting and flexing and doing all they do for schedules to get us to do some of these great things for kids. Along with the pathways for 8th grade, we're gonna be taking 8th graders to the Seacoast School of Technology, which is SST, which all Winnicott students have access to. Once they enter into Winnicott, they can go over to SST and do some of those hands-on programs that they have, whether it be welding or early childhood education, or automotive. There's all kinds of 12 different programs that students can participate in. So our 8th graders are gonna have a tour of SST. So again, future-minded, how can they kind of make most of their
One newly added program, and that they're now offering electrical.
Oh, electrical, oh, that's
Brand new.
yeah, so the trades.
Yep.
And again, future oriented, I attached there the Sea to Summit, which Winnicott offers for incoming freshmen. Really highly encourage incoming freshmen to take advantage of the Sea to Summit program. It's fantastic. It really orientates them to Winnicott. They can meet new friends, but it also just has lots of components that are in the flyer that I think students benefit from. 8th graders are going kayaking this spring again. That's sponsored by the Seacoast Science Center and the Seabrook Hampton Estuary Alliance. So students will get a chance to get out right here in the marsh on kayaks and just kind of get a different perspective of where they live. It's a great program. Again, thank you to the 8th grade team. Lastly, I want to say that we've put a date up for our 5th grade open house. We're going to have an incoming 5th graders open house on June 4th. It's a Thursday from 5:30 to 6:30. We'll send out a flyer with more information. That'll be here in this library, and then parents will have a chance to go down and tour the classrooms and learn about the 5th grade and help with that transition. 4th graders will also have a chance when we have a step-up day to do similar to the parents and come on over to the middle school and see the 5th grade classrooms and meet the teachers. So we have that up and running, to help with the transition from 4th to 5th grade. But again, 5th grade open house, June 4th, Thursday from 5:30 to 6:30. And I think that's a lot, and anyone have questions? Okay. Teacher appreciation, thank you to all the teachers, elementary, middle. Talk about knocking it out of the park, right, every single day. We've said that before, and I just echo all of the positives that people say about our staff. They are in it with their hearts, and they're in it 110% of themselves. I've seen it enough to know that it's a special place for kids and families to be because of the teachers and the work they do every single day. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For the teachers. To the teachers.
We have like 2 minutes left of public comment, I think. Right, 5 or 7. There you go.
On Friday, Rebecca Shervani, 8th grade language.
Thank you.
Sure. On Friday, we'd like to thank the Walter Burns Fishing Derby and their committee over at the Piscataqua Sports Club. They've invited us, along with a lot of other schools around our seacoast, to come fishing for the day. They filled the pond with, I think, like 350 trout. So it's going to be a great day. I want to thank our administration for allowing us to go. We're taking 50 of our special needs kids over there for a great day. It sounds like Mother Nature's going to be a little difficult, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be a wonderful day, and I just wanted to say thanks for that. And thanks to Lauren for the UNH field trip. It was outstanding. Kids were saying that could be me someday.
That's great.
And it hits
That's where we
hard
go.
when you see that kids are looking forward to their future in continuing ed. So thanks for that. I'm off to the parent meeting for Washington DC.
Yay.
Wish us luck.
No, quick.
Yeah, it's coming up quick, Monday, 5 a.m. We'll send you info. Thank you. Thanks.
I'm gonna close public comment at 5:07. And then we have the special service report.
Yeah, it's on file for you. It just gives an update on number of students who are identified and a recap of the law conference.
Okay. Matt?
Thank you. So I have posted the May year-to-date revenue expenditure reports on board docs. There's been no significant changes since last month. As you know, this year has been a particularly tight budget year since we are operating under a default budget. And we have experienced some cost pressures in a number of areas, including special education, our buildings and grounds, special education transportation, and health insurance. And as such, we are currently projecting to end the fiscal year slightly over budget. As a result, we did limit spending to essential items only and discontinued any discretionary expenditures. We will continue to monitor our revenues and expenditures closely as we finish up the last month and a half of our fiscal year. But based on those current projections, we are recommending the board approval withdrawal from the Special Education Expendable Trust to cover that year-end balance, which is on this evening's agenda to be considered at that point. Thank you.
Any questions? Okay, continuing business. There's an email attached, right?
Yes,
This is
so
from Lacey, yeah.
yeah, she was just sharing information that she had passed along to the board, and it actually relates to the next, sorry,
The
letter C.
C, yeah, I see that. We're actually, let's go out of order for a second, and then C, we're gonna just hold off on that third-party special education audit, cause I know Lacey wanted to be here to discuss it as well, so
Okay.
we'll just hold off on that until our next meeting. And we can do the climate and cultural surveys.
Yeah, so we spoke at the last meeting about survey tool. We shared with you the questions. That is the tool that we are using in other districts within the SAU, and we held off on sending that out, waiting to see if this board wanted to participate using the same surveys. So if you are happy for us to go ahead with that, we will send those out to families and staff this week. And if you would prefer to do your own, I will exclude Seabrook from that data collection.
I think we should do the same one. So we talked about it a little bit at our last meeting anyways, and I know there was conversations, I don't know if it was before Michelle was on board, but definitely before I was on the board. We went through this last time, a sample, and I feel like the questions are able to give us information we want, and there was also places to expand if there was additional comments that people wanted to add. Last week we did a joint board retreat, and I think one of the things that came up a lot is collectively trying to do more things together and be on the same page more together and streamline something. So I feel like this is an opportunity to get the same information that everybody's getting, and then with those results, work towards that goal, which I think we here in Seabrook have talked about already. If we're doing something different, that will make that more challenging because we're not comparing the same information.
I agree too, and I think we should just go ahead with what we have there. Otherwise, it's just gonna be delayed again, and then it will never get done,
Actually
or,
have any data.
so I would like to make a motion for the, Is it parent and
It's parent,
All of
student,
it.
and staff.
parent, staff, student surveys to be sent out?
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so that completes that. New business.
New business.
Okay, we already talked about that, right?
Yeah, so you have to
Right.
vote now.
We'll take a vote, ladies.
I'll make a motion to withdraw up to 200,000 from the special education expendable trust for special education costs.
I'll second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And
I'll make a motion to expend up to 150,000 from unanticipated revenue funds for health insurance costs.
second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay. School lunch price recommendations.
Thank you, yes, so, the school board is, required to set the, school lunch and breakfast price on an annual basis, so, we have recommended a, lunch price of $2.95 and a breakfast price of $2.10 for the FY 27 school year, so next school year. Of course, we do so while also understanding that food security is an essential component of student learning. That being said, as I'm sure we've all seen at home, food costs have increased substantially. We are running a deficit in the food service program where we are losing money. So this is a normal price increase just to try to get to closer to break-even point.
So that cost would be a good break-even point, do you figure?
I
or-
anticipate that we will still lose
Have it
money in the program, but if we slowly increase it, we feel that this is a appropriate
Fair.
increase that won't cause a burden, but it will help with those costs.
So yeah, it's just what, a 20-cent increase?
So it's a 20-cent increase for lunch and a 15-cent increase for breakfast.
Yeah, I'm close from that.
Alright, I'll make a motion to approve lunch price of $2.95 and a breakfast price of $2.10 for the 26-27 school year.
I'll second. All those in favor? Aye. Unanimous, thank you. Matt, I can see you again.
So we have concluded the bid process for our annual Chromebooks purchases. We did send bids directly to 6 qualified vendors and 2 submitted bids. We knew going into this bid process that the cost of technology and specifically Chromebooks had increased substantially, and that did bear out. It's as you can see, we got a bid of almost $28,000 and one of $32,000. We had budgeted $22,000. So we are recommending award a bid to Connection in the amount of $27,634.50. And I'll note that we have identified reductions elsewhere in the technology budget to cover that differential between our budget and the actual cost.
Any questions?
Does it say how many? 50?
There are 50.
50.
So, one adjustment was we had hoped to buy 55, so we reduced that to 50. That was one area where we reduced the cost. And then like I said, we looked at other areas where we could make cuts in technology at least impact to students. So.
You good? I'll make a motion to award the bid for the purchase of Chromebooks to Connection in the amount of $27,634.50 for the 2026-27 school year.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you.
So the bid process is also concluded for the underground oil tank removal project. Bids were sent to 7 qualified vendors, 3 of which attended the walkthrough and 2 submitted bids. We are recommending award of bid to Aricalian Plumbing and Heating in the amount of $50,865. I'll note that the funding for this project is from the oil tank removal warrant article that was passed that ballot. That amount was $54,000, so it did come in under budget.
Big difference in those two.
And they've done work here before, right?
They
Yeah,
have, so we have we've worked with APH significantly on many projects across the entire SAU. I mean, we're very comfortable with their quality and their service.
Okay, make that motion.
Motion to award the bid for the removal of the underground oil tank to Arcadian Plumbing and Heating, APH, in the amount of $50,865.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Yes, thank you. Okay, JSI Seacoast Youth Services.
Yes, so we let you know that we would be applying again for the JSI grant. That's the grant that allows us to fund the student assistance coordinator position at the middle school, currently filled by Megan Poirier. So we worked with Seacoast Youth Services, who partners with us for that grant to submit it, and we have been awarded the grant. We do budget the offset small amount of $10,000 that we contribute towards having that full-time position here.
I assume nothing's changed.
Nothing has
I
changed.
mean, I looked at it, but I don't know what it said before.
The budget is the same, the conditions are the same.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to accept the JSI grant.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. Okay, personnel. Does that have to be non-public?
It does not.
Okay. So we have a resignation. I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of CA
Christian Allison.
effective June 30th, 2026.
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you. All right, future meetings. Joint board meeting Wednesday, May 27th, 2026.
I don't know why your May meeting is listed. It should be your
Yeah.
June meeting,
And Seabrook meeting
which is
Tuesday,
scheduled for June 9th.
June 9th, 2026.
Just keeping us on our
I
toes.
guess so.
And I think that's it. We have nothing for non-public, right?
You do not?
Motion to adjourn, it's gonna be someone else.
I'll motion to adjourn.
All right.
Newbie
At 5:19?
at 5:19.
It's a good time.
You did great, Jen.
Thanks, guys.
Good job, Jen.
Oh,
Superstar.
and thank you, teachers.
Second, could I second? Jen?
Um,
Jen second.
Jen seconded it.
Yeah.
Right.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you.